Good morning everyone, it's Saturday, which means it's time for Manila Bay Rehabilitation. Actually, there's volunteers and government agencies here every day of the week, but I only join on Saturdays. You'll see there's a lot of garbage here on Baseco Beach. The volunteers just arrived, sorry, not volunteers, but the MMDA employees. And yeah, let's go. So you'll see this is a mix of residential waste. You can see there's bananas, cups and things like that. I suspect this is just someone's garbage bag that's either been dumped directly on the beach or it's washed up somehow. Sometimes people do throw whole garbage bags into the bay. As we continue down the beach, there's a lot of garbage collected already. Actually, the MMDA have only been working for around 10 minutes so far, and they filled up around, I would guess around 20 bags. Because really, the bulk of the work you can get done very quickly because there's big piles of garbage laying on the beach, and then later it takes longer and things slow down because there's individual pieces spread out. Over here you'll see a man getting ready to fish. He'll be throwing his net into the water. And he's just pulling the net up now. Let's see if he managed to capture anything. And it looks like he's been lucky because he's caught a few fish. And that literally took around 3 minutes, so very fast turnover. Stand by. And here you'll see the MMDA shuttle bus carrying volunteers from Carino Grandstand. I think they're students. Wow, there's a lot crammed onto that bus. Lots of volunteers to help here on Baseco. And these students here are actually from San Beda University. They will be able to borrow tools from the MMDA. They'll hand out tongs, rakes, sweeps, whatever the volunteers need. And here they go now. The beach will soon be swamped with the red shirts. Very good news. Instead of registering individually with the MMDA, what they'll do is have their group leaders go there and register how many specific volunteers they have. So for instance, Group A 50, Group B 50, something like that. And if you see these plainclothes individuals, they're from AMA University. They also rode the bus. I just spoke to their coordinator now. He said they have around 90 to 100 volunteers, and I advised him you might want to dispatch them further along the beach because there's so much trash over there and not a lot of trash here. So these two guys here are from AMA University, and of course these ones are from San Beda, part of the NSTP. And right now they're just picking up the microplastics really, which is quite time consuming. But if you dig down, you do find enough trash to put in your bag. You see a man over here has his birds. Looks like he's giving them a wash. Morning. It's pretty big. Fighting cock. Fighting cock. So up here is the area that I was telling the volunteers about. Let's get a little bit closer, and you'll see there's a lot of trash. Looks like there's smoke over there. Does that mean someone's been burning trash again? So yes, someone was burning trash here. They've managed to put the fire out, but that's the problem. Some people are still going here and making piles of trash and then burning them. It's not exclusive to Baseco. You can see it on the streets of Manila City every morning, especially if we drive around 4, 5, 6 a.m. burning trash. It's illegal, open burning of trash. And today I've been testing out this monocular. It's not quite as good as I hoped, but it was pretty cheap and it's okay. What I'll probably do is cut in some footage using my cell phone looking through this. When you look through it with the cell phone, it's not quite as sharp as if you look through it with your eye, but it gives you an idea of the magnification. Some of the volunteers were using the tongs to pick up pieces individually, and then after a couple of seconds they realized no, it's better just to grab it with the hands and jam it into the bag. So it's now a battle, the Reds and the Blues, the Jets and the Sharks. The nice thing about having students here, apart from the fact that they're collecting garbage, is that they have a direct experience with the effects of littering and things like that. So when they go back to school, if they see their friends littering, or if they see people, you know, family members or neighbors throwing garbage on the floor or directly into the sewer, they can say, hey, you shouldn't do that and this is why, and we have direct experience. So that's one of the reasons why I like seeing students here, apart from the fact that they're collecting garbage. Now with the students and the MMDA down this end, right now they're picking up little tiny pieces pieces of plastic individually. It's very inefficient. You might remember in a previous video I showed a bag, like a net bag, where you fill it full of sand and you shake it, the plastic remains inside and the sand falls through. That's a lot more efficient. Another idea that a lot of people have said is like what they use for construction, the sift that you rock back and forth with a fine grill. I might make one of those for next week and try and bring it here. The only reason why I haven't done it so far is I need something that's portable, that can be carried on a motorcycle. So it has to be lightweight, but it has to be strong. So I'll try and make something for next week, because what they're doing right now, it's very good. I'm so glad they're here, but it's very inefficient. And over here you'll see the second shuttle bus just arrived. There's not as many volunteers on this one though, maybe 15, just outside Baseco Beach. Of course, there's still a lot of trash. In fact, over there is a whole virtual island full of trash, and one source of that is the people living along the river over here. Unfortunately, a lot of them do throw their garbage straight into the water. In fact, what I'll do is I'll use my monocular again, and we'll take a closer look over there, and you'll see how the garbage piles up beside the houses. As I mentioned in previous videos, these informal settlers or squatters are being relocated, but it takes a long time to find cities that are willing to take them in, to give them land, to give them a market and everything like that. So I'm now here on Manila Bay Walk, and you can see the amphibious excavators from the DPWH in the distance there. It looks like there's 3 operating at the moment. According to a couple of the MMDA stationed here, the DPWH dug up a vintage bomb. Let's go and take a look. So here's a photo taken by one of the DPWH. Right now it's over here, although I'm not sure how well you can see it. So they're waiting for the bomb squad to come in and deal with this now, but the amphibious excavators have continued work. They've actually made a lot of progress along Manila Bay Walk. Really, they're moving very fast, because remember, they're doing this every single day, this desilting or this dredging. And here you go, the police just arrived on scene now. I think they called them just a couple moments before I arrived. 81 millimeter. There you go. Most likely.
This is illuminating round.
Okay.
Illuminating used for lights.
Okay. So there you go, they dealt with that pretty quickly. They said they're very familiar with these. They found others along here in the past. So they'll take this away and dispose of it properly. I'm now here at Manila Yacht Club. You can see there's some students, but again, they just finished, so I'm a little bit late here. Let's take a look. This is the area that they were cleaning. There really isn't too much, to be honest, because I looked here this morning around 6 AM, there was no one here. So it's good, but I don't think there was much trash to collect. So if you look down here, this is part of Estero de Magdalena, and it looks pretty clean because there was a big cleanup last weekend. Although, to be honest, the esteros are being cleaned out every single day, and that's what it really takes, because there's still a lot of people throwing the garbage into the water or stuffing it into the sewers. But for now, it looks pretty good. This is Alvarado Street over here. Let's take a look on the other side, and you'll see the other side is nice and clear also. And they've actually installed a garbage trap here. So if you see all of this bamboo, this makes up a garbage trap. So if you look down below, you'll see the net that goes into the water. The garbage gets pushed up against that, and it's much easier to collect up later. And it also allows them to find out where the garbage is coming from. Because if you install a trap here, and then here, and here, and so on, you can find out, okay, most of the garbage is actually coming from this one area. So if you looked at this, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, a lot of garbage here, but now it looks really clear. So I'm now back here at Estero de Magdalena, and I'm wondering if that big pile of garbage in the estero down there is because of a garbage trap, or if something else. Let's go and take a look. So yeah, this is another garbage trap that's been installed here. You can see everything pushes up against it, much easier to collect up later. You would hope that residents themselves would collect this up, put it in bags and give it to the city garbage collectors, since a lot of this does come from them. I've seen them throw it out their window, but unfortunately that's not the case. I've seen a couple of residents here help during the cleanup, but not many, to be honest. Imagine this was only cleaned a week ago, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people here, volunteers and different government agencies, collecting garbage, and in just a week it's just building up again. And this is really part of the problem. That's also why they're pushing for more education and for more penalties to actually capture and penalize those who are doing this. On the other side, I've spotted some people collecting garbage. Let's go and see what's going on. See this water dumping in here as well? I don't know where this comes from, but you can see it's very milky white, probably not that clean. So I just spoke to the guys now. They said they're local residents and they volunteer their time to collect garbage that's pushed up against the trap. So that's good when the locals are really getting involved themselves. This guy's kind of sinking as he goes out further. And you see all the black that's coming up from underneath. Now in an ideal world, people wouldn't throw this in here in the first place, and you'd see a lot more residents out here helping, but at least there's some. That's really a good sign.